In beyond the gates, Vanessa stood in the darkness of her room, the light from the window shining through the small cracks, creating faint streaks of light on the floor. She clearly felt the cold enveloping her, not only from the space around her, but also from her soul that was torn apart by endless conflicts. It had been a long time since she had felt so helpless. Doug, with his subtle attacks, was forcing her into a corner, forcing her to choose. And this time there was no way back. Doug had made a request she could not refuse. Their relationship had been long, not only because of feelings but also because of the benefits she had enjoyed from that very connection. She had always known that the world Doug had built was a world of power and manipulation, where every step had to be carefully calculated, where betrayal was never forgiven. But she was sick of that feeling, of being a puppet in his hands. And as soon as Joey appeared, a faint light flashed through her. Joey was not like Doug. He was not only a worthy opponent, but also someone who could offer her something Doug could not: power, freedom, and perhaps a chance to shape her own destiny. However, trust was hard to come by, especially when she had been betrayed in the past. Joey was smart and shrewd. He was not to be fooled, and Vanessa knew that if she wanted a chance, she would have to be smarter than that. That was why she decided to pretend to agree to Joey's proposal of an alliance. But deep down, she knew she was on a dangerous path. Could she overcome the temptation of power and self-interest to do the right thing? Or would she be drawn deeper into the game she had created? Vanessa's plan was simple, but not without its sophistication. She knew Joey would never offer an alliance without reason, and he certainly wouldn't let his guard down. But that made Vanessa even more determined. She would exploit Joey's trust, make him think she was a trustworthy companion. She would lure Joey into a trap where he would have to face his own betrayal. And when he was caught at the lavish gala, it would all be over. However, in that moment, the success of the plan did not bring the feeling of victory she expected. A fear rose in her heart. Was Joey really fooled? Or did he know everything all along? Joey was handcuffed and led away, his eyes no longer filled with surprise but with pain and disappointment. He was no fool, and Vanessa knew it. Joey would not let himself be trapped so easily. But the truth was, over the years, he had learned to trust her, even if it was for a brief moment. Maybe, in Joey's heart, he believed that she would stand by him, that she would help him through it all. But was that belief his weakness, or the test he was putting her through? And when Vanessa saw the look in Joey's eyes when he was caught, she couldn't help but wonder. Did he really trust her, or was it all just a game to test her loyalty? If so, could she continue down this path without losing herself? Joey wasn't someone who could be fooled. Vanessa knew that well. He always saw through the truth, but why did he choose to trust her? Or had he really wanted to test her all along? Did he realize that everything she did was part of a strategy, part of the game she was playing? Or maybe, in his heart, he still gave her a chance, allowing her to prove her loyalty once again? These questions kept swirling in Vanessa's head, making her unable to find peace. Every choice had its price, and she knew that once she entered this game, no one could retreat easily. Could she continue to fight, or would she be drawn into the spiral of secrets and betrayals that she herself had created? Vanessa stood among the ruins she had created, clearly feeling the coldness and tension enveloping her. She had successfully tricked Joey, leading him into the trap she had carefully prepared. But that victory did not bring her the feeling of satisfaction she expected. On the contrary, it was like a sharp knife stabbing straight into her heart, because she knew that, to win, she had to pay a price for many things, including the trust of those around her. As soon as Joey was caught, his eyes no longer contained surprise or anger, but only disappointment. Disappointment in himself for letting Vanessa deceive him. Disappointed in the trust he had placed in her, only to realize he had been wrong. and that disappointment would not be easily erased. Joey was not a forgiving man. If there was one thing she was sure of, it was that he would not let this go without revenge. But what will Joey's revenge be? She doesn't know. But she does know he's smart and shrewd. Joey won't let himself be taken out of the game so easily. He'll find a way to come back, and when he does, nothing will stop him. And when he does, Vanessa will face an enemy with no limits, no patience. She'll have to prepare for a relentless battle where any mistake could lead to destruction. But beyond Joey, there's another threat growing in Vanessa's family. Every decision she makes from now on will be judged, and not everyone will understand why she acts the way she does. Her family, especially those in the Dupree family, won't forgive her easily when they find out what she's done. They value loyalty, and what she's done is not the kind of loyalty they expect. Standing between Doug and Joey, Vanessa has chosen the path of betrayal, and no matter how she reasons or justifies it, that betrayal will always remain in their eyes, like an indelible stain. Doubt from her family is surrounding Vanessa, and every step she takes now is met with suspicion from her loved ones. They no longer see her the same way. Her decisions have changed everything, and now, no one can predict whether she will become the next hero or victim. Vanessa cannot deny that she has embarked on a dangerous game of survival. Every choice she makes now is not just a matter of winning or losing, but a matter of survival. What must she do to maintain power and protect herself as her enemies grow closer? Can she stay sane and wise, or will she be caught up in Joey's revenge and her own family's betrayal? The bigger question Vanessa faces is she truly the heroine of this story, or just a reckless traitor, unconcerned with the cost? To survive in this world, she must make decisions quickly and accurately, but each decision could lead to destruction. She can't be sure which path she will take, but one thing she knows for sure: this game isn't over, and she must be prepared for what comes next. Whether it's revenge from Joey, betrayal from her family, or the regrets she will face in the future. Vanessa, in this moment, understands that her choice isn't just about winning or losing. It's about finding a way to survive in a world where loyalty no longer counts, and only intelligence, courage, and daring can guide her. But will she be able to face the consequences of her actions, or will she end up becoming a victim in this game herself? Vanessa stepped out of the darkness of the room, her fingers trembling as she touched the doorknob. The quiet, heavy feeling of the choices she had made began to envelop her. She had succeeded in eliminating Joey from the game, but the price was not only the loss of an ally but also a betrayal she could not hide. In Vanessa's heart, that victory had never felt satisfying. Instead, it felt like a burden on her shoulders, a trap she had created for herself. She looked forward, knowing that Joey's wrath would be the biggest storm she would face. But what was even more frightening was the suspicion from those closest to her. The Dupree family had been the biggest source of motivation in her life, but now, with the betrayal she had committed, would they still consider her a part of the family, or would they push her out as an enemy? Joey, a smart and sharp person, was not someone to be easily dismissed. Even though he was caught in Vanessa's scheme, his eyes did not show surprise. Instead, there was disappointment not only for her but also for himself. She had tricked him, but deep down, Vanessa knew that Joey would not let this go easily. He would take revenge, but in his own way, in a way that only he could. In a world where loyalty was paramount, Vanessa had chosen betrayal, and now that betrayal would return, like a wolf that had been released and was no longer bound by anything. Joey was not someone who could forgive easily. He will stop at nothing to repay this debt. The promises of an alliance, of facing Doug together, are now traps that Joey has set for himself. He will no longer trust anyone easily, not even Vanessa herself. And as Joey's revenge begins, Vanessa will face unimaginable consequences. But this is all part of the game she has entered. A game of survival, where there are no friends, no protection, only individual survival. And all the while, Vanessa couldn't help but think of the Dupree family. Born into a powerful and secretive family, she knew that every decision could lead to destruction. Every move was watched and judged. The betrayal she had made of Joey could be the start of a chain of events from which there could be no turning back. The Dupree family never tolerated weakness, and she knew that when these secrets were exposed, not only Joey but the whole family would turn against her. They would see her as an enemy, someone no longer trustworthy. She had chosen to side with Doug, and now she was paying the price for that choice. With every step, she felt the tension wash over her. Every decision became more important than ever. She had tricked Joey, but that didn't mean she had won. It was just a game whose consequences she couldn't foresee. And the truth is, every time she looks in the mirror, she can't help but wonder if she's really a winner, or if she's just a victim in the game she created. For Vanessa, it's no longer about surviving or winning. It's about whether she can hold her own in a world full of lies and betrayal. Joey won't let Vanessa off the hook, and the Dupree family will never forgive her for what she did. Will she be smart enough to fight both sides, or will she eventually be drawn into this game, becoming a victim of the betrayal she created? These questions have no answers, and Vanessa knows that to survive, she must keep fighting. But will she be strong enough to overcome the challenges she created, or will she eventually collapse under the burden of her own wrong decisions? Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. All the content I make is just speculation and personal sharing. If you find the video interesting and useful, please support me with a like and leave a comment. If you have better ideas or more interesting speculations, please share them in the comments section for everyone to discuss. I appreciate all your contributions and support. Sincerely, thank you.